I remember the day I first learned that trust, once broken, doesn't just shatter, it leaves a scar that never quite heals. I was in my late 50s then, a man who had spent years building a life around honesty, hard work, and the quiet hope of a future I could be proud of. I had married well, or so I thought, and for a long time, I believed in the sanctity of family, the bonds that held us together through thick and thin. But all that changed the day I discovered the truth, and betrayal so cold, so calculated, that it cut me to my core. It was late at night when I stumbled upon the evidence, a folder hidden deep in my wife's desk, filled with receipts, messages, plans that spelled out exactly what she and my stepchildren had been doing behind my back. They had been plotting to take everything I owned, to wipe me out financially, so they could hoard what I had worked for all my life. I remember the sick feeling in my stomach, the way my hands trembled as I unfolded the truth. They had been pretending to care, pretending to love, all the while lining their pockets with my blood, sweat, and tears. I felt my world tilt, and in that moment, I knew I couldn't let them get away with it. I had given them my trust, my future, my everything, and they spat on it. But I am not a man who gives up easily. No, I had fought wars, faced dangers, and come through with scars that told of survival. And I knew I had to fight back now, even if it meant confronting my own pain head-on. I started planning in the quiet hours when the house was still, my mind sharp as a blade, each detail fueling my resolve. I learned their secrets, their lies, their weaknesses. I watched as they believed I was weak, too old, too worn, too defeated to do anything. That was their mistake. When the right moment came, I struck. Not with violence, but with the cold precision of a man who had nothing left to lose. I leaked their plans to the right people, the ones who could turn their schemes against them. I sent whispers through the network of legal advisors, accountants, and even a trusted friend who owed me a favor. They thought I was done, that I had no fight left. But I was just waiting for the right time, the moment when they let their guard down. And when that moment arrived, I made my move. I filed the papers, exposed the truth in court, and watched their faces crumble as the evidence I had gathered laid bare their treachery. It was a slow, painful process, but justice isn't quick, and I knew that. I saw the shame in their eyes, the regret that never came, and I felt a strange sense of peace, knowing I had reclaimed what was mine. My dignity, my legacy, my life. They thought they had won, that they could erase me, but I showed them that a man's spirit isn't so easily broken. I built that life from the ground up, and no betrayal, no matter how deep, could take it away without a fight. Now I sit in my quiet home, the smell of old wood and worn leather filling the air, knowing I stood tall when it mattered most. I learned that true strength isn't measured by how many betray you, but by how you respond when everything falls apart. And I have risen from the ashes, wiser, scarred, but unbroken. Because in the end, justice isn't about revenge alone. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that betrayal tries to steal. The dignity, the hope, the belief that truth always finds a way. So if you're ever caught in a similar storm, remember this. No matter how deep the wounds, you are stronger than they think. Stand tall, fight for what's yours, and never let the darkness drown out the light you carry inside. Because the night may be long, but dawn always comes, and with it, the redemption we all deserve.